this is after the introduction, the first actual week of our 12 weeks to wellness opulence. It's perfect timing. Yeah,
It sure is.
I don't know what's going on in your personal lives, but it's perfect timing in my personal life. I need a detox. I need to align, go within. So tonight we are going to be talking about the fire element, and the organs that the fire element covers is the heart, the pericardium, and the small intestine. And we have lots of great information that we're going to be discussing tonight, but we're going to kick it off with a meditation from Kristen M. Worcester. So
if you guys want to run your Healy, we're running heart meridian. You can run coherence. There's just so many
small intestines.
Small intestines,
pericardium. I think, yeah. Anna, what were you saying about the heart meridian? What was the reason behind that?
So you could run the heart meridian, but the pericardium currently from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Is at its yin energy is at its peak.
Okay.
So right now would be a great time to run anything that supports the heart specifically. Circulation, the heart chakra program can be run. Coherence is really good. So any one of those tonight would be optimal.
I'm running heart meridian. What are you running?
Heart meridian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Love it.
All right. Well, let's kick off this
Yeah, I'm just going to pin myself so it stays on me.
this journey with the meditation, and I will slide on,
All
give
right.
Kristen the floor.
All right. Yay. All right, guys. So it looks like everyone's sitting, but you can also be lying down if you decide you want to lie down. And you can just close over your eyes and just feel your tailbone rooting down into the earth, and feel the crown of your head rising up towards the sky, lengthening your spine. And just drop into your breath, your inhale and your exhale. Inhale, belly rises, bringing in fresh chi, fresh oxygen into your entire body. Exhale it all out. Just let go of anything that's holding you back, any stress, any worries, any concerns. Just let it go. One more nice big inhale. Filling that belly, filling the lungs. And exhale, releasing everything out. And I invite you to imagine your favorite spot in nature, the place you love to go to. And just envision that place and be there. Just walk towards it and find a comfortable seat where you feel really supported and protected. And it's a beautiful sunny day with a clear sky and a few white clouds. And the temperature is the perfect temperature on your skin. You can feel the breeze on your skin, and you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. And just breathe in your environment. What do you smell? Now pay attention to the sounds that you hear around you, the sounds of nature. Do you hear water running? Do you hear the sound of birds, animals? Do you hear the sound of leaves when the wind blows through them? And then placing a hand on your heart, and then connecting in with the sun above you, that radiant golden sunlight. Just breathe in that beautiful golden light into your heart space. Fill it up. And exhale everything out that doesn't belong there. Any darkness, any heaviness, any worry, any sorrow, any closed off feelings. And breathe in more of that golden light into your heart space, filling it up with joy. And just release anything that doesn't serve you. Feel the pounding of your heart, the beat of your heart. Filling it up with more golden light. Feeling in gratitude of this heart that beats every day without you even having to think about it. Exhaling out. Now we're going to send golden light into the pericardium, which is the sac that surrounds the heart. So breathe that golden light into that beautiful sac. And exhale out. And just continue to breathe in that golden light into the pericardium. The pericardium is like the bodyguard of the heart. And when it's in perfect balance, it's the perfect balance of giving and receiving. And finally, placing your hand on your small intestine, so on your belly, and breathe that golden light into that small intestine. And breathe out any toxins, any debris, any blockages in that small intestine. Keep breathing in that golden light, filling it all up. This beautiful intestine separates the pure from the impure. Take another breath in and allow all the impurities to just leave with your breath. And just give gratitude for these organs, these beautiful organs in our body. We really don't pay much attention to the internal landscape, but we are going to learn about this beautiful internal landscape for the next 12 weeks. These organs do all this hard work that we never even have to think about, but we're going to start to connect in with them. So just give these organs just a ton of love right now. And with our final breath, I'm going to ask you to take your biggest breath. So take a nice inhale and hold it at the top. Take another sip of breath in. And then open your mouth and just sigh it out. And when you're ready, come back into the space.
There's something about your voice.
Oh,
I'm like out of
you.
it. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You know, while you were walking us through that, I was like, I know where they are, but I don't. And isn't that why we're here?
Yeah.
It's like we really need to get in touch with our bodies and where these organs are and what they do. So I'm so excited about this journey.
I had to actually look it up, believe it or not, like the pericardium and even the small intestine. I mean, it's almost embarrassing, but
Where was it?
it's the small intestine is like just
Stand up
in
and
this
show us.
this whole area in here. You know, it's like,
The whole thing.
yeah, it's all in here. And then
Well, what do you know?
yeah.
What do you know, guys? Wow. Well, that's why we're here.
Mhm.
And we are going to start to learn about that. Do you want to pull up the sheet?
Oh yeah, we do that.
We're going to kick it off with, while we pull this up, Anna. Anna is just an absolute genius when it comes to all of things releasing and about the body. And so she's going to walk us through the body clock and tell us a little bit about what we should look for if our fire element, heart, small intestine, or pericardium is imbalanced. So I'll pass it over to you, Anna.
Thank you, Ashley. And Kristen, that meditation was beautiful as always.
Oh,
And it
thank
is, your voice is like so angelic, very
you, my
relaxing.
dear.
So, okay, so fire element. We are literally in the season of fire. The summer is very representative of the fire element, meaning heat, something that's burning. Also, fire element can also have the tendency to feel like urgency or things speeding up. Fire gives life, warmth, and also maturity. So ultimately, it representing us living our truth from a heart space fearlessly, and being able to take in the joy of life in such an open way, and where we're filled with warmth, whether that is fully giving and receiving love, or just taking in these joyful experiences of life. Like I said earlier, right now we're in the time frame of the pericardium, but we'll start with the heart. And I guess the biggest piece that most people want to know is, when our fire element is imbalanced, what should we be looking for? Number one that usually shows up is any form of anxiety or anxious feelings, any agitation or disturbed sleep. So this is perfect time to be on this call for those of you that are working on your sleep. And this is because the heart governs the blood circulation, and houses the spirit, the mind, the spirit mind, if you will. So our connection to ourselves on a soul level. So any type of excess heat in the heart can actually disturb that type of connection, and can get us kind of feeling these anxious thoughts, these racing thoughts. So look out for those things that might show up for you. So any type of anxious feeling, or when it's felt in the chest area, especially around like feeling any type of social anxiety. Sometimes you get those like heart palpitations that show up. That can sometimes be representative of a form of imbalance within the fire energy in the body. So spontaneous sweating or hot flashes can be contributed to any type of imbalance or lack of joy, blood deficiency, insomnia, or the inability to fall asleep, inability to express yourself from your heart space, feeling blocked around that expression, and again, inability to give or receive warmth, love in some capacity. So biggest thing when our fire element is actually imbalanced, or in balance, not imbalanced. Fire is released when we express ourselves with motivation in any art form, but not looking for recognition, just pleasure. This is when we are doing things that literally light us up. So for me last night, it was going to Zumba, dancing around, doing the limbo, and just laughing and having a good time with a bunch of other women. And in that moment, I was fully present and I could feel how open I was. And yes, thank you, Tracy, because Tracy is the limbo queen. So shout out to Tracy and her Zumba class. It's amazing. If you're in the area, please take it. It's awesome. Also, when you're in your superpower of fire, the Shen, allowing consciousness to unfold in you how it wants to unfold. So whatever's flowing through, coming from your heart space, and really following that internal guidance. That is being empowered in your full expression. Verbally, the choices that you're making, how you want to live your life. And that's without the pericardium being constricted or holding you back in any capacity. And the pericardium, what I mean by that is the protector of the heart. So that is leading your life with an open heart, unafraid, fearlessly. So when we get into the heart, when the chi of the heart, or the life force energy of the heart, is at its peak, that's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I was saying to Ashley before we jumped on the call, really tune into these specific time frames, because be aware of the thoughts that you're having or the feelings that you're feeling in your body, because it might be things that are weighing on your heart. It might be something that's showing up that you might not have listened to, that's really screaming at that time frame, because the energy is flowing, and chi is at its peak. So tune into those things. The heart generates emotions such as joy, can be heartbreak, or the ability or inability to receive warmth, or love in life. So that can be associated emotions of lack of enthusiasm or lack of vitality, mental restlessness. Like I said, having an imbalance within the heart space sometimes leads to those heart palpitations and those racing thoughts that then start showing up on a physical level, as those kind of like feeling of palpitations.
So you're saying, Anna, at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., just focus on what we're feeling, what we're thinking, because that's going to be related to our heart.
Well, yeah, I mean, it can very well be tied to the heart. I think that it gives rise to the things that we could be holding on to or experiencing. So if you're in a mental loop of like, you know, any conditions around love, like, you know, what's like a good condition around love?
I don't deserve love.
Yeah, I don't deserve love, or
Not worthy
I
of
can't
love.
be loved if I don't look a certain way, or, you know, whatever conditions or limitations that we put on love is where we are blocking ourselves through belief systems or any type of past emotions that we experienced that went unprocessed, that's creating this stagnant energy or blocks literally in our heart space. And those can be, you know, just from the work that I do, I would consider that pieces to the heart wall. And the heart wall are just basically layers of trapped emotions, from times in our life where we experience heartbreak or abandonment, or any type of like love unreceived. Maybe your father wasn't very loving towards you as a child. These are things that can be held within the heart wall. And what that does is just fully blocks us from, it blocks us from fully giving or receiving love in our life, because we start putting conditions on things based off of our past experiences. So yeah.
Mhm.
So hopefully that helps. I hope that this is helpful for you guys. Some other things that are tied into just the physical things that can kind of show up sometimes are even dizziness. Think about blood circulation and oxygen through the body, weakness, shortness of breath, or circulatory problems. I have Raynaud's, I get cold hands and cold feet. I know that there is a deeper rooted piece to that that ties into my heart and blood circulation of the body. So take a look at those things, see if any of it resonates. But again, night sweats, frequent sweating, or excess insomnia can be tied to that. So that's in regards to the actual organ of the heart.
I actually, during and I didn't mention this, but at the very top of this sheet, it says the cheat code session 2. That's a video that you can watch that is it's where all of this information came from. It came from Dr. Michelle Patrick, who is just a genius and a Chinese medicine doctor. And she was saying what Anne just said, spontaneous sweating. that hot flashes may be from a fire element imbalance, not hormones. I mean, how many times do people just think, they just blame everything on hot flashes or, their hormones? It could be a heart issue. So I found that very fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how on an energetic level, things can affect us on a very physical level. It starts showing up as signs and symptoms on a physical level that are reminders that, hey, here's like what did she say in regards to the wildfires? Like the
Smoke signals.
smoke signals before a wildfire.
Mhm.
So that's why, I'm so excited to be a part of introducing this to everyone, because it's so important that we tune into ourselves, because, as soon as we start looking at those smoke signals, we don't wind up with a wildfire down the road. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that before I move on to the small intestine?
Well, did you go through the entire list of when you're imbalanced?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this, and this kind of triggered with me, just with, I'm very in tune with Donna right now and her husband and going through some issues right now. So it's funny because I think I texted her sometime during the day yesterday about like I had a flash of her, and I think it was between the middle of the day where I'm like my heart, like the heart connection there is because of the concern that I have for her and her loved one. You could think that is around it, just so I'm kind of making sure I'm connecting this right.
Yeah, I mean, that, anytime we get those intuitive pings, it's so important that we listen. They can be so quiet and so subtle that we're just like, oh, that's weird that they just like popped into my head at this time of day. And, but the more that we listen to those intuitive pings and follow them, especially when you're coming from a place of, tuned into your heart and the goodness that we all, the light that we hold.
Oh, you can get that surprise and delight bag too.
Oh,
Can you guys mute?
Oh, I thought it was a question.
go down.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, guys.
So I don't know. Do you girls have anything you want to add to that?
No, well, yes. I don't know why I said no. This is why we're breaking it down by week. So because you could be all over the place with all the things that we need to tune into, but like for this week, like let's just tune into our hearts. So I love that.
And I think this is so neat to think about when we experience that hot flash or we experience the flutter or whatever it is that we experience, maybe just have a little journal and write down what it is and what time it happened. So anything that's happening with our bodies during this 12 weeks. And then we can start to really understand it more. Oh, this might be, instead of hormones, it's a heart thing. Or so I think that would be a really good idea too.
And we have a link to a journal in the intention setting sheet that we'll show you in a little
good,
bit.
okay.
If you're in the market for a journal. Just found it and I thought it was a cool
Good.
one. All right, Anna, shall we get into the small intestine? Or
Absolutely.
wait, I know you went over the pericardium, but the way that Dr. Michelle Patrick explained to it in the video, I think is so amazing. She described the pericardium as if it was a bouncer at a bar.
Yeah.
And you only let in certain people. So she, whatever, is sitting there guarding your heart and like, oh, no, this person's not coming in. They hurt you before. Or it's open and you're just like, yep, free for all. Everybody, you look dangerous. You look dangerous. Come on in.
Yeah.
So I love how she described it like that, because you don't want either of the extremes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just thought that was fun to talk about.
Yeah. Just finding that balance of being open, but also having clear boundaries, is so, so important. Especially now, even what we take in from media, social media, our environment, all impacts us on an energetic level.
Yeah, it says when you're not in balance, you don't have discernment for your boundaries or emotional health.
Yep.
And I know women do not have boundaries because they want to help everyone, and we do help everyone.
Yeah.
So
And just the everyday family stuff, you know, dealing with family and the boundaries that we don't put up sometimes, or we put really strict boundaries that maybe keep people out. So
I don't have that problem. I'm column A, but I'm going to work on it this week.
You're the big old bouncer.
I'm just letting everyone in. Come on in, everyone. Party in my heart. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move to the small intestine.
Okay, small intestines. When the yang energy of the small intestines is at its peak is between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. And that helps us to discern what is pure from the impure. And then the heart helps us express that. So very similar to almost like the bouncer concept, just discernment between what is good for you and what is not. But similar associated emotions, same as the heart, the pericardium, and the triple warmer meridian. But any physical symptoms that can show up is stereotypical to digestive issues of abdominal discomfort with bloating or gas, gut inflammation, bacterial imbalances, constipation, diarrhea, slow digestion. Can be related directly to that organ when there's an imbalance within the life force energy of the organ. Restlessness can also be associated to that, moodiness or irritability, trouble focusing and making decisions can also be contributed to an energy imbalance within the small intestine. So a couple things to just take note of. That brings us into the pericardium, which we love the idea of the pericardium as the protector of the heart. And just like Kristen said in the meditation, it's a membrane or sac that surrounds the heart. And that's why it's kind of known as the protector of the heart. It basically holds the heart in place and helps it work properly. So as the security guard for our heart, it decides based on past experiences, if it's going to allow someone in, just like the bouncer idea. And two ways that it can be out of balance is if it's clamped open, overgiving, way too open with people, and experiences that are exhausting you, or a lack of boundaries. When it's clamped shut, we're not allowing ourselves to experience things in life or let people in for fear of getting hurt. So being overprotective of the heart really blocks us off from some pretty amazing experiences. So ultimately what we want is a good balance of the two. And so any type of chi deficiency or imbalances that can show up when it comes to the pericardium, it can be circulatory problems. I don't know if anybody else has those, but join the club. Chest or heart discomfort, palpitations. This can also be imbalances of sexual feelings or trouble with intimacy. So being fully open with your heart. So if we're closed off, it tends to be a bit more of a struggle when it comes to intimacy. So any questions with that before we move on to the next one?
I'm just seeing a little piece of myself in all of these.
Yep, it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good week.
How about you guys?
Yeah, does anyone feel vulnerable enough to share? Does anyone want to express through their
I feel
pericardium?
seen. Yes, girl.
We'll get into some sharing. So take a minute while you're taking in this information and tune in to your heart right now. And if there was a story that you wanted to share, but you're afraid to share it, maybe this is your opportunity. So just planting that little seed. So now are we getting into the suggested Healy programs? did you have more?
Let me touch on the triple warmer, the triple burner meridian real quick, and then we'll get into the programs if that's okay.
Sure. And the triple, can you explain the triple warmer first? I thought, yeah.
Yeah, so the triple warmer is the meridian that controls our fight, flight, or freeze response. I can tell you exactly where it's located. Hold on one second, because I don't know off the top of my head.
We will after this, everyone. We will be
If you're curious where it is.
walking
Yeah.
body wizards.
Exactly. Choo-choo. So the meridian begins at the tip of the ring finger. Okay, so I'm looking at my ring finger, and passes between the knuckles of the ring and pinky fingers. It then goes down between the two bones of the arm and to the shoulder via the tip of the elbow and back of the upper arm.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's that.
How interesting.
Mhm.
It's the ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fascinating? Tied to the
Mhm.
heart,
It
tied to
sure
the fire
is.
element, and that's where we wear our wedding bands.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. So the triple warmer will also impacts our immune system and our ability to manage stress. That's been associated to the triple warmer. So symptoms of any type of chi deficiency or imbalances to look for: imbalances of fight, flight, or freeze response, stagnance of body fluids, lack of body part connection, or feeling complete wholeness in the body. Headaches and migraines have been tied to that as well, as signs and symptoms of imbalance. Hearing issues or tinnitus, and facial or neck stiffness are also, if we hold that like tension, sometimes that's tied into.
This is all triple warmer?
Yes, signs and symptoms
And
of.
so as we work on the heart, the pericardium, and small intestine, that helps the triple warmer?
I mean, it's all tied together as like fire element within the body.
Right.
It's not a specific organ, but it's a meridian tied
meridian.
into the heart in a capacity. So when I think of the heart wall, somebody with a heart wall, to me, would have tension in the neck, shoulders, or tightness in the chest, or heaviness, feeling like this weight is almost on your chest. That's because if we're storing things energetically in this area, even down to ring finger and like relationships, there can be sometimes a heart wall tied into, it's all tied into our hearts in a way.
Can we share? So if you see our eyes lighting up here across the way from us, yeah, she'll come across, is a dear soul sister, family member, Amber.
Sorry for my appearance, everyone.
This beautiful girl, and she had a heart transplant at age 17. And I can share, or you want to share?
Whatever.
Okay. 2 years ago, she went into rejection and she's a earth angel and a warrior. And we just did a heart healing on her the other night. And everything that you just said, we were just like looking at her, like every single thing that you just said. So if this information can help someone to the extent of even just the awareness, that's exactly why we're doing this.
So you were saying the symptoms that you were talking about, and
Yeah, they asked me how I was feeling when I got here, and I was like, there's an elephant on my chest. Number one, I need to crawl out of my skin. Number two, and I have had a headache for the past, a tension headache that I texted Kristen today, that's starting at the neck. So I'm working through it, but I'm more than aware that there's stuff there that needs to be worked through. And after my energy session, I definitely felt a lot lighter. but kind of rebounded again today. It's not something that's going to go away with one session. It's something that I'm going to continue to work on. And the more I'm aware, the better I can do to work on it and heal it. So I appreciate hearing stuff like this. It's awesome to validate the feelings I have, and my intuition telling me, I mean, I reached out to these two with those feelings, asking for help, and got it. So
Oh,
Yeah.
big
no such thing
chills.
as coincidence.
I
God bless you,
know.
Anna.
Big
I know,
chills.
right? Yeah. Mhm.
I'm gonna take my messy bun back on the other side.
Okay,
I love a good messy bun.
messy bun moment.
I
Oh, beautiful,
know. Love it.
beautiful. Okay,
Amazing.
continue on.
Well, that kind of sums up like some things to look for. I definitely have more things I could go into, but I think that that's probably enough to digest at this point. But tune in. This is exactly why we are doing this 12 weeks, is to tune into and really take note of the feelings that we're feeling, whether it's energetically, emotionally, physically in our body. It's all tied together in some way. And it really takes our awareness to say, okay, this could mean this, or start taking notes of those things. And, like Kristen and Ashley said, like journaling is going to be a huge, huge help, because we always tell ourselves, oh, well, feel in a certain way. And, but we always kind of like, we don't really remember that it happened. We just kind of like make a note of it and just keep going about our day. And this 12 weeks is giving us the opportunity to just say, no, I'm going to actually listen to my body. I'm going to listen to what my heart is telling me. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this. Especially if it's something that is coming up over and over and over again for you. I mean, these are the smoke signals that are happening before a wildfire. So anywho, food for thought.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now what do we do about all this? So we've taken in the information, and we're like Amber over here, who's like, check, 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 check. Okay, what do we do about it? Well, one thing that we can do is we can utilize this little magical device that helps us harmonize our bioenergetic field and these specific organs. So Kristen's going to take us through some of the suggested Healy programs that if you have a Healy that you can use, and if you only have a gold, then you can use just the gold along with coherence. If you have a device that has more, then tune into all of these, but we can do 3 a day. So I'm going to be doing all of these programs this week, and I'm going to be journaling how it feels and how I feel. And I will be vulnerable here. I'm going through something pretty serious, personal in my life that has to do with the heart. So I can't wait to tune in and see how all of this helps.
Yeah.
So why don't you
Love
go
it.
for
Love it. And so we can do up to 3 microcurrents a day, and you want to spread it out. So you give your body time in between each one. So in the gold program, we can do being. That's for me, it's like well-being for the soul, but it's good for this whole heart and fire element. Care is kind of feels like a hug, like a mother's hug, and energy to give us more energy.
And can I just elaborate
Yeah,
on that?
please
Because I
do,
heard
because-
Dr. Michelle Patrick said something in a different video that you should run being when you're just being. So I know that we're running programs right now while we're on a call. We're, cooking or watching TV or on a hike or something. Try this week at least one time. I'm going to do it. I want you to try it too, to run the being program and literally don't do anything else.
Okay. That's amazing.
That's it.
I love that. I love her take on it, Dr. Michelle Patrick, because she has such a different way of looking at the bioenergetics behind all of it. For me, when I use being, it was so helpful for me when my mother had fallen and broken her hip, and it's like well-being for the soul. And it really, really helped me during that time. And I guess, that's the whole heart. The heart's like open and worried. It was like a godsend for me. Then in meridians 1, the heart, obviously, and small intestine. That's what we're running right now, is the meridian 1 in the heart. Meridians 2 is circulation, and that's helpful for the emotions and for the blood and moving everything along. And feel free to elaborate as we go if you know anything else that she said.
You know I will.
All right. Then bioenergetic harmony 1 is nerves. Chakras is the heart chakra, which is the pericard, which is where the pericardium is, obviously,
Yeah,
because
and-
there isn't a pericardium.
Right.
Right.
Just specific to the pericardium. She
Right.
said, she suggested
Oh,
the heart chakra.
Got it. Okay. Digital nutrition mix, fatigue for joy and happiness. I remember her saying this, instant feeling of aliveness. She said she uses fatigue just because every day we go through life, and it can be really challenging. And so when you run the fatigue program, it's lifting you up. So she runs it even when she feels good, just to lift her up even more and bring more heart and joy into her heart, into her life. Then we have epigenetic harmonization, and that is the stem cell programs. So pineal gland for the brain. We have the pineal gland, the brain, and epigenetic for chi flow of life. What's the
So energetic.
energetic? Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
The energetic program under digital
Got
nutrition
it. Okay.
is for chi and flow of life.
All right.
And then there's also an energy program, and there's an actual joy of life program.
I can't wait to try that one. I haven't done that one
I
yet.
have.
Wow, it's fascinating.
I'm
I know.
excited to do this week.
Yeah, me too.
And to do the heart at the times. So run the heart program at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the small intestine between 1 and 3. Try that once
Yeah.
a day too.
Yeah, I think that's a
One
good
of those a
idea.
day.
Yep. And then the bio vitalization, that's the stem cell one. So regeneration 1, cell holistic support.
Okay, so
I think
there should be a
cell-
comma there.
Cell is 1.
Cell is a program,
Yeah,
and then holistic support.
And then under stimulation, anxiety.
Which is it says in your Healy, it'll just have the number, that Roman numeral number 8 for compliance reasons. They don't actually say anxiety in there, but whoever brought you to this call, you can ask them for a cheat sheet and we can send you one.
Yeah.
So
They
we've
look
got
fantastic.
we got a full week of that.
We sure do.
So now we're going to talk about the daily homework and also setting an intention. We set an overall intention last week. And if you haven't done that, I highly encourage you to watch the introduction video, or at least set an intention for your overall 12-week experience. But we also want to set an intention each week. So your intention can be as simple as, I want to focus on my heart this week, my heart, my small intestine, or, and my pericardium. It could be more detailed. I want to open myself up more. I want to be more vulnerable. I want to express myself more through my heart. I want to follow my heart. As a matter of fact, my intention before I even did this, I came up with it a couple of weeks ago, is to listen to my heart's intelligence and have the strength to follow its guidance. So that's my intention.
It's beautiful.
So I want everyone to make sure that they're writing down an intention for this week. And should we just give everyone a couple minutes to do it now?
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that
Yeah,
right
let's do
now?
it.
Let's do it together.
Mhm.
Everything's better when we do it together.
Yep.
So take a moment, grab a pen, paper. I've already written down. And just write your intention for the week. You ready?
Yep.
I wrote down a lot of stuff there, but the last thing I wrote down was strengthen my connection to my heart.
Mm,
That feels really good to
mhm,
me
mhm.
because when you follow your heart, you can't go wrong
can't.
in life.
It's so true. Like when you come from your heart, when you're having a difficult conversation or you want to address someone, but you just come from your heart, then you can't go wrong. You just can't. There's no denying what the heart is telling you. Yeah,
That's right.
so true. I have just going inward where and looking at where I have felt unloved or I felt unlovable and kind of digging into that and giving myself love when I've been hard on myself. And then expressing love more freely to others. This
You're a pretty
week.
loving person already.
I am, but I could take it to the next level even more.
Oh,
Mhm.
can't wait to be a part of that. Kristen's love is juicy.
It's always more. There's always more.
Does anybody want to share? Does anyone want to step into this week's the magic and be a little vulnerable and share either something? Amber, yes.
Yeah.
You have a huge one.
Do you want to come over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huge week ahead for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Here, sit here.
I also wrote a few like Ashley, but I think the ones I'll just read them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be vulnerable.
Good.
My heart is open and full of gratitude and joy. Gratitude continues to flow through my body, sending healing energy. I release everything that doesn't serve my healthiest and most conscious self. Those are my intentions.
I love it.
Beautiful. Thank
We
you for
support
sharing.
you in that.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to share?
Oh, it's much brighter. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn
Anna.
it up.
Okay, so mine are, well, I have a few, but the one that I keep coming back to is working with my pericardium and focusing in on being a better bouncer. I
Ooh.
feel like I have a very open heart, which sometimes is a big disservice to my energy and to my mental and emotional health. And so I'm gonna be bulking up. I'm gonna be bulking up and a better bouncer for my heart space.
Love
And
it.
be able to express that from my heart space. And so that's going to be mine.
It's a beautiful one.
I just added that to my list.
Mhm.
So it's a big week.
I think we can share a bunch of these, right?
Yeah, it's a big week. It's a big week. All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Anyone else?
I'll go. I don't mind going.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
wonderful.
I want to be grateful for what my heart is telling me. And then the second part of it is be open to hearing what it is saying and actually using its guidance to say what needs to be said.
That's a
Mm,
powerful one. Wow.
That's a doozy right now.
Yeah, that's really like to the point, isn't it? It's beautiful.
beautiful. Thank you. And we're going to go into, we just got a couple. Oh, the bonus.
Bonus, but wait, did we want to talk about homework?
We do want to talk about homework, and then
We do have a little bonus.
we have a big bonus, but
I do not see the-
I think you have to go backwards. I think
I'm
it came before this.
Oh, okay. I thought it. No.
There it is.
Yeah, there it
Sorry.
is.
Okay. So here is the daily homework. And if this is too much for you, like if you don't have tons of time, then just do one and then try to add another thing every single week. So we're going to do at least 15 minutes of grounding, putting your bare feet on the earth. It's summertime. It's the perfect time to do it. This is a holiday weekend, get out there and make grounding a priority. Aligned breath work. I like Dr. Joe Dispenza's 12-minute breath work. YouTube video, and there's a link right there if you want to try that out. 7 minutes of doing nothing. And let's extend that out this week and do the being program and do nothing for 50 minutes, whatever it is. Learn to just be, and drink half your body weight in water. Make sure we're staying hydrated because microcurrent works based on how hydrated we are. And run 1 to 3 Healy microcurrent programs from this week's list. We already went over that. And there's the link to the journal if you're interested in that. Move your body for 20 minutes a day. Chris and I have been killing it at that lately. And do something to fall in love with life. And how amazing is that for this week? We, fall in love with yourself,
Yeah.
fall in love with your routine, fall in love with, your style, fall in love with something with life.
Fall in love with your inner child that likes to have fun.
I'm writing that one down
And
too.
it's the 4th of July. So, eat some ice cream, right? Do something really fun. Did you want to say something, Anna?
Yes, I totally, this week, I asked what does the energy of this week look like and what type of guidance do we need collectively? And it was to play.
Oh,
Back to
Boom.
just
Confirmation.
gosh.
doing the things that light us up, that fill our hearts, and we have fun. When you're in that joyous moment of doing something that you really love, time doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist because you are so fully present, and it's so healing to be in that space. So the more that you can choose to do something that really lights you up over the next week, take every moment you can to do what you're feeling guided or pulled towards that is something that you would love.
Thank you.
I love that. It's this week to do it, right? It's all
It's
about
such
that
it's
heart.
such a synchronistic
I know,
time.
isn't it?
Really, it is.
It
And
is.
the new moon was just on Tuesday, which is new beginnings. So next week we're about to get into the bonus, which is exciting. But next week and going forward, when we start these calls, we're actually going to start with a little bit of a recap and share something from our experience from the week before. So we would love to hear from you. If you have any kind of experience or just something you want to share, that's what we're going to do in the beginning of the call. And then we'll get into the next set of organs and element. And so what the special bonus is Kristen M. Wister over here. I call her the space sorceress. She is a Feng Shui expert. And so she's going to tell us a little bit about the fire element in regards to Feng Shui. So this is a big deal. This is very exciting.
Yeah.
This is why the Vibe Tribe is so amazing.
I just love how we all have our gifts, right? And we can share. And so this body is the mind, body, and spirit. And then our home is an outer reflection of the inside. So it's developing this beautiful relationship between our beautiful bodies and our spiritual bodies and our home, our physical home as well. So this is just a short little presentation about the fire element according to Feng Shui. And the fire element relates to fame, your reputation, how you're known in the world. It has to do with insight and celebration. And fire energy kind of spreads in all direction. It's also very pointy. So anything that's pointy or like triangular, it's also upward moving as well. So that's kind of the way that the fire energy moves. The body part is the same. It's the heart, the pericardium, and the small intestine. And in your home, it's in the direction of the south. So we can also look at our homes, the south part of our home. If you get a compass and you see where the south part of your home is, you can break your house up into 9 sections and then map out where the south is. That's the area that is the fire element. And so you can also look in your home to see if there's a lot of clutter, if there's any blocks, or if there's a bunch of furniture or just any disarray in that particular area of your home. That could also be affecting the body part. because the home basically Feng Shui is another representation of your entire body as well. The creative element is wood because wood feeds fire. So when you want to create a larger fire, you just add wood to it. So in that area, it's nice to make sure that you have some wood to feed that fire. The destructive element is water, because when you want to put a fire out, you give it water. So you don't want to have a whole lot of blue in that particular direction. And then so this is how the element of fire affects us physically. It's stimulating energy, and it increases blood pressure, heartbeat, and the heart rate and pulse. And it creates feelings of action, confidence, passion, insight, and inspiration. And when it's overdone in the home, it can lead to burnout, anxiety, stress, and aggressiveness. So we want to really kind of look at how much fire you have in your home as far as colors go, because the color in Feng Shui of the fire element is just as powerful as the actual element itself. So it's like if you have a metal cabinet, like a metal file cabinet, that's a metal element, but then you paint it red, it becomes a fire element. So the color is really, really, immediately whenever you see red, it's like it draws you in. It's action. Or like if you're feeling really good about yourself and you want to like dress up and you want to wear a red dress, you want to be seen, right? I never, when I was feeling depressed, did I ever want to wear anything red, ever. It's like browns, grays, earth, black, right? So the colors that we wear too also influence how we feel about ourselves.
Did you mean to wear red today? I didn't.
I did. I wore it
I didn't do it on purpose, but I did.
Oh, you did. You're right.
Yeah, I've got red,
Yay.
orange.
We're kind of like, yeah, that's totally.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
lying. I totally planned it.
So that's actually good that you said that, because
Yeah, we'll wear a lot of red this week. Reds,
yeah,
oranges.
Yeah. And so just getting into the colors, the color that I'm wearing is kind of more of a magenta. I do better with kind of magenta colors versus like really bright reds or orange reds, but there's just so many different variations of reds.
Ooh, red lipstick. We should
Yeah,
wear red lipstick.
lipstick.
Should have worn it.
Just like Tracy's picture there. See?
Yeah.
And then there's even more. There's fire colors include tones of red mixed with orange and yellow. So just think about when you light a fire and all the different colors that come up from the fire, that really orangey red and kind of some of those really really bright yellow colors. Like yellow is considered more earth, but when it's like a really, really bright, intense yellow, then that's also considered a fire color.
Aubrey, did you want to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question. So like, does the tone or the vibrancy of the red, like, is it more impactful if you're doing like a fire engine red versus if you're doing more of like a jewel tone, like a burgundy, or if you're doing like leaning more towards the oranges?
They all count as fire. So everyone has a different design aesthetic. So if you like kind of more of a slightly browner red versus like a fire orange red, then that still works. But if it starts to get really earthy, then it goes more into the earth. It starts to go more earth tone.
Okay.
So does that answer your question?
It does. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Needs a little fire.
Needs a little pinch. And then there's even more here.
Ooh.
So even purple and pink tones. Forget this peach. I took this from someone else's slide. The peach that's
no go.
Yeah, that's a no-go. But you can see all the different variations of it. So that helps with
These
colors.
make me
And
happy.
I love purple too. So purple and pinks, and I love mixing things. And you really want to get a balance too. Like we never want to have too much. This leads us to the next thing, the Feng Shui cautions. Two areas that you really don't want a lot of red is in the kitchen and in the bedroom. And the kitchen, because you already have the fire element in there, which is the stove. So that is already a fire element. So then if you add even more on top of that, you're almost adding too much. Touches of red is fine. Red, I always believe, should be, especially red like this, like when we're talking like really, really bright red, should be used in smaller amounts. And definitely in bedrooms, you just want to tone it down because it can really excite the nervous system and create restlessness and disrupt your sleep. So you just want your bedroom to, just be this sanctuary where you can nestle in and not feel like red's great for passion. You
Yeah, I
can
was
have a little
thinking
bit
that.
of, it's totally great for passion.
Like a
but
throw pillow.
yeah. When you're feeling all passionate and stuff, you can pull out some of your reds and things, but just don't overdo it too much. Might be up all night, but maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Kristen.
Oh, all right. So let's go into the decor. And this is the last slide. I just threw a couple things together. So these were it was fun actually pulling this together.
Yeah,
So
that's cute.
here's some purple, there's some magenta.
I like
this
this room.
red. Even the triangular shapes are also representing fire. It's not as fiery, it's the shape of fire, but when you add, if this was painted red, it would be like super fire. And even animal prints have to do with fire as well. So think about this. Even I actually did a Feng Shui fashion PowerPoint, which is super cool. Maybe sometime we can get into that. I'll offer it for something, but it's how you want to dress and kind of using these kinds of things like pointy earrings or animal prints, bring in some red. And when your fireplace is on and your candles are lit, they are an actual, the real fire element, but the red candles or the pink candles by themselves also represent fire. If it was a white candle, it wouldn't represent fire. But once the white candle's lit, it is fire. So, but candles that are not lit, if they're not in that fire color, they're not exactly a fire element adjustment. So that is it. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Anna?
So is it beneficial to have your fireplace on the south side of your home?
Actually, it is beneficial because it's supporting that particular bagua, the south part. Yeah, so that's an added bonus for sure.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
was just noticing this red light behind us.
yeah, there we go. It actually is very fiery, isn't it?
I'm gonna wear cheetah pants tomorrow.
There you go.
I think everyone should share. I hope everyone's in the Solstice Sync Up Facebook group. And if you're not, let us know and we'll add you, or you can just go to the person who invited you on this call and find it. But we should all share what's going on through the week.
Oh yeah, feel free to post in there.
Yeah, it'll be
Definitely,
fun to
it's fun.
share.
Yeah, we can post pictures and stuff.
Just things that we're experiencing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everyone.
good.
Well, that wraps up our first week of the 12 weeks to wellness opulence. Let's get into our heart space. Let's build this bouncer muscle.
Devin, I have multiple animal print bathrobes. Oh, wear them up, girl.
That's right.
I didn't see any of these chats.
Oh, do we have a bunch? I'm sorry,
Oh,
guys.
sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. I have red carpets in my childhood home. Then later, my mom painted the walls maroon. Okay.
A lot of fire.
In human design, this red color is also the root center. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, just the root chakras is red. So
Yep. I
interesting.
know. So many overlaps to everything. That's what I
Yep.
love. Like there's so much knowledge in all this wisdom, and all this Chinese medicine. That's the root of Feng Shui too. So there's the parallels are all come together.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't wait to see everyone next week and hear everyone's experiences. And let's love on our hearts this week.
Enjoy the 4th of July. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy your inner child. Enjoy joy. Play. Have fun. Let's do this.
Yes. Does anyone have anything that they want to add? Or if not, just take yourself off mute and say hi and bye. Love to hear your voice.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
ladies. Bye.
Thank you for being
Have a
here.
good rest of your week and weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Take
So
care.
much.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. So nice to meet you,
next week.
Donna.
Yeah, take care.
Nice to meet you.
We're here
Thanks
for you if
again.
you need anything.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm
All
trying to get her in the chat. She's just got to upload the stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a
Got
lot
it.
going on.
All right.
Thanks,
I know.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I
Bye.
look at Alicia with her fire
Yeah,
walk.
you're right. Yeah, that's.
Oh.